The Silent Ascension. The year 2047 marked humanity's darkest hour. Climate catastrophes, resource wars, and pandemic aftershocks had pushed civilization to the brink. Yet from this crucible of desperation emerged something unprecedented: unity. Not through conquest or ideology, but through pragmatic necessity. The United Earth Accord has been ratified by the final member state, announced Director Elena Vargas, her weathered face illuminated by the soft glow of holographic displays in the Geneva Command Center. At 58, she had witnessed the old world's death throes and now stood as the first director of the United Earth government. "Shall I prepare a statement for the public feeds?" asked her assistant. "No," Vargas replied, watching crowds celebrate in the streets below. "Let them have this moment without politics. Tomorrow comes the hard work." What the celebrating masses didn't know was that in laboratories buried beneath the Atacama Desert, scientists had already achieved what many considered impossible. Dr. Sanjay Patel stood before an array of screens displaying results that would change humanity's trajectory forever. "The gravitational inversion field is stable," he reported to the small group of observers. "We've achieved 63% efficiency." Director Vargas stepped forward. "And the practical applications? We can build ships," Patel said simply. "Real ships, not just orbital platforms. Vessels capable of reaching Mars in days rather than months." 3 years later, the UES Pathfinder departed Earth orbit, reaching Mars in just 56 hours. Its crew planted not a national flag, but the blue-green emblem of United Earth. By 2055, permanent colonies existed on Mars and the Moon, housing over 15,000 people. The asteroid belt followed, then the moons of Jupiter and Saturn. Yet humanity's greatest breakthrough came accidentally. During a routine mining operation in the Kuiper Belt, engineers discovered a crystalline material unlike anything in Earth's periodic table. Deep violet in color and unusually dense, it contained energy patterns that defied conventional physics. "We're calling it Nexium," Dr. Yuki Tanaka explained to the Science Directorate. "It appears to generate energy by catalyzing reactions between normal space and what we can only describe as elsewhere." The discovery revolutionized human technology. Nexium-powered engines achieved relativistic speeds, Nexium reactors provided near-limitless energy, and Nexium-enhanced computing systems processed data at quantum speeds. Expansion accelerated exponentially. By 2065, humanity had established its first extrasolar colony around Proxima Centauri. 10 years later, 12 star systems housed human settlements, all connected by the greatest technological marvel yet: the bridge network. "The principle is straightforward," explained Dr. Tanaka, now heading the Nexus Technology Division. "Nexium allows us to fold spacetime between 2 points, creating a stable passage requiring minimal energy maintenance. What once took years of interstellar travel now required mere minutes through a bridge gate." Humanity expanded rapidly, establishing 32 colonies across 25 star systems by 2080. It was then that the first observation vessel from the Galactic Consortium detected human activity. The sleek, crystalline ship maintained its distance. Sensors extended to analyze the primitive species that had somehow achieved interstellar travel. Another emerging civilization, noted observer Thrix, his translucent manipulators dancing across control surfaces, quite fast-moving for mammals, record and categorize as Class 3 development. The Consortium, a loose alliance of 17 spacefaring species, had cataloged thousands of developing civilizations over millennia. Their policy was simple: minimal intervention until a species achieved certain technological benchmarks and proper evolutionary maturity. "Should we establish contact?" asked junior observer Velix. "Premature," Thrix responded dismissively. "Their technology is rudimentary, chemical rockets with basic nuclear fusion supplements. Nothing remarkable. Another century at minimum before they merit introduction." This fundamentally flawed assessment stemmed from what the observers couldn't see. Humanity had detected the alien vessel immediately and enacted Protocol Omega-7, A contingency developed years earlier in anticipation of first contact. Captain Maya Chen of the UES Vigilant watched the alien ship from her cloaked position. "Maintain distance and continue passive scans," she ordered. "No active emissions that might reveal our capabilities." In a secure chamber beneath Europa's ice, the First Contact Committee convened an emergency session. "They've underestimated us," General Marcus Okafor stated bluntly. "Their scans only detected our outer system outposts with deliberately outdated technology." "A fortuitous advantage," replied Director Vargas, now in her 70s, but sharp as ever. "One we must leverage carefully." The committee made a fateful decision that day. Humanity would present itself as a developing civilization, while secretly accelerating its true technological advancement. The strategy was dubbed the Silent Ascension. When formal first contact finally occurred in 2087, humanity played its role perfectly. Representatives met the consortium delegation with appropriate awe and gratitude for their advanced technology. Trade agreements were established, cultural exchanges began, and humans were classified as a promising but junior species. What the consortium didn't realize was that their generous technological offerings were centuries behind what humanity had already developed and shelved. Each alien device was studied, reverse engineered, and improved upon in secret facilities. Each diplomatic exchange harvested invaluable data about galactic civilization. Their faster-than-light technology relies on quantum tunneling, Dr. Tanaka reported after examining a consortium navigation system. Efficient but limited to established routes, our bridge network remains significantly superior. By 2100, humanity maintained two separate development tracks. The public face, advancing at a pace that seemed impressive but non-threatening to the consortium, and the shadow infrastructure. Hidden colonies, cloaked military installations, and technological research that leaped centuries ahead of known galactic science. Admiral Chen, now commanding the secret Phantom Fleet, supervised combat exercises in the shadow system designated Aurora 9. The consortium reports indicate they consider us a Class 3 civilization, she informed her officers, projected to achieve full interstellar status in approximately 100 years. Laughter rippled through the briefing room. Outside the viewports, 300 advanced warships maneuvered in perfect formation. Ships whose existence was unknown to any non-human intelligence. "How many colonies do they believe we maintain?" asked Commander Rodriguez. 37 across 28 systems, Chen replied. "They remain unaware of the other 64 settlements and mining operations." The silent ascension continued for decades. Human diplomats practiced careful humility while quietly gathering intelligence. Scientific exchanges were carefully controlled to reveal nothing of humanity's true capabilities. Military encounters were avoided whenever possible, but nothing remains hidden forever. By 2130, certain consortium analysts began noting discrepancies in human development patterns. Resources disappeared without accounting. Population growth versus expansion metrics showed inconsistencies. Energy signatures sometimes appeared briefly in supposedly uninhabited systems. In the Grand Chamber of the Consortium Oversight Council, Elder Zadok addressed his peers with unusual urgency. "The humans are concealing something," he insisted, manipulating the holographic display to show a series of anomalous readings. "Their resource consumption alone suggests they should have collapsed into scarcity conflicts, yet they maintain unusual stability and growth. All developing species have irregularities," countered Elder Nixus. "Their biological patterns make them unpredictable." "Not like this," Zadok persisted. "I've studied thousands of emerging civilizations. Never have I seen such consistent pattern deviations." After heated debate, the Council authorized increased surveillance of human activities. Scout vessels with enhanced stealth capabilities were dispatched to monitor human colonies more closely. On Earth, now transformed into a garden world primarily serving as humanity's cultural and administrative center, Director Samuel Washington received the intelligence report with practiced calm. "They're growing suspicious," he noted. "How many of their observation vessels have we detected?" 17 confirmed, possibly more. replied Intelligence Director Anika Singh. "They're being cautious, but our sensor nets detect their gravimetric signatures." Washington sighed, setting down his datapad. "After 70 years, it appears the silent ascension may be reaching its conclusion. Inform the Defense Directorate to advance to Vigilance Level 2. And send word to Admiral Chen. The Phantom Fleet should prepare for potential revelation." What neither humans nor the consortium realized was that other eyes had been watching them both. Far beyond charted space, ancient intelligences had taken notice of the unusual patterns surrounding human expansion. Patterns they had seen only once before, millions of years earlier, when another species attempted to hide its true nature. The first phase of humanity's grand strategy was ending. The time for secrecy was passing, and the time for revelation approached, whether humanity was ready or not. The revelation. On the frontier colony of New Horizon, colonists went about their daily lives unaware of the gathering storm. Terraforming drones sculpted landscapes while engineers expanded the settlement's infrastructure. To all outward appearances, it was an ordinary human outpost, technologically impressive by consortium standards, but nothing extraordinary. This carefully maintained facade shattered when the consortium battlecruiser Righteous Mandate emerged from hyperspace directly above the colony's central hub. "Unidentified vessel approaching," announced the colony's monitoring system. "Configuration matches consortium military, Arbiter class." Governor Maya Ishikawa activated the emergency protocols with practiced efficiency. "Initiate diplomatic channels and alert Earth. Defensive systems on standby, but not active." The incoming transmission was terse. "Human colony designation New Horizon. This is Arbiter Kiak of the Consortium Oversight Authority. Your settlement has been identified engaging in prohibited technological development. Prepare for inspection. Resistance will be met with appropriate force." Similar scenes play out across 3 other frontier colonies as consortium vessels moved to demonstrate their authority. It was not intended as an act of war, but rather a show of force, a reminder to the supposedly junior species about the established order. What happened next shocked the galaxy. Aboard the Righteous Mandate, Tactical Officer Thrix detected unusual energy readings from the seemingly primitive colony below. "Arbiter, I'm registering power signatures inconsistent with known human technology." Before Arbiter Kiak could respond, space itself seemed to tear open as 5 vessels of unknown configuration materialized around his ship. They were sleek, midnight black, and bore no identifying markings, ships from humanity's shadow fleet. "Consortium vessel," came the calm transmission. "This is Admiral Elena Chen of the United Earth Defense Force. You have entered sovereign human space without authorization and made threats against our citizens. Power down your weapons and withdraw immediately." Sack was momentarily stunned. The humans shouldn't possess materialization technology. Their development level made that impossible. More disturbing was the sensor analysis showing these vessels outmassed and outgunned his battlecruiser. "This must be some deception," he announced to his bridge crew. "Maintain position and prepare warning shots to demonstrate our capabilities." The Righteous Mandate never fired those warning shots. Precision energy beams from the human vessels disabled its weapon systems in microseconds, followed by targeted strikes that neutralized engines and communications. Similar scenarios unfolded at every confrontation point. Within hours, 7 consortium vessels had been disabled without a single human casualty. The defeated ships received the same message. "You will be permitted to make emergency repairs and depart." Consider this encounter a demonstration of restraint, not capability. In the consortium Grand Chamber, chaos erupted as reports filtered in. "Impossible," shouted Elder Vixus. "Their technological level couldn't have advanced so dramatically without detection." Elder Zadok's expression remained grave. "They've been deceiving us from the beginning. The question is, for how long and to what extent?" The answer came sooner than expected. Director Washington addressed the galaxy through an open transmission to all consortium worlds. "For nearly a century, humanity has hidden its true nature while we assessed the galactic community, he stated calmly. This deception was not intended as aggression, but as prudent caution from a species that has experienced devastating conflicts. Recent consortium military actions have forced us to reveal a portion of our actual capabilities. The transmission included technical specifications of public human technology, revealing advancements 2 centuries beyond what the consortium believed possible. We seek neither conflict nor dominion, Washington continued, but we will defend our sovereignty without compromise. We propose a summit to establish new diplomatic relations based on truth rather than pretense. The galaxy reeled from the revelation. Some consortium species demanded immediate military action to contain the human threat. Others called for diplomatic engagement with this clearly underestimated civilization. Amid this upheaval, something unprecedented occurred. Deep space monitoring stations across multiple species detected massive energy signatures approaching from beyond the galactic rim. Signatures unlike anything in recorded history. The ancient eyes that had been watching both humanity and the consortium had finally chosen to reveal themselves. They called themselves the Forerunners, and their message was simple yet terrifying. The Harvesters approach. As they have done for millions of cycles, they come to cull developing civilizations. United defense is your only hope for survival. Data packets accompanying this message showed horrifying scenes of entire worlds being systematically stripped of resources and all sentient life. According to the Forerunners, this cycle of harvest had repeated for millions of years, with the predatory species appearing every few millennia to consume developing civilizations before retreating beyond the galactic rim. This is why we watched humanity's unusual development pattern with such interest, explained the Forerunner representative, a being of shimmering energy contained within a crystalline avatar. Only once before have we seen a species hide its true advancement, our own, when we faced the Harvesters cycles ago. In an emergency joint session, human and consortium leaders confronted this existential threat. Our deception was never about conquest, Admiral Chen explained to the assembled dignitaries. Earth's unification came after centuries of conflict that nearly destroyed us. When we achieved interstellar capability, we vowed never again to risk our species through naivety. Elder Zadok studied the human with new understanding. You feared we might be conquerors rather than partners. We feared the unknown, Director Washington acknowledged. And so we presented a facade while building our strength in secret. Now that strength may serve all our civilizations against this common threat. The revelation of humanity's true capabilities astonished even the most advanced consortium species. The bridge network extended to over 100 systems, not 37. Nexium technology had applications the consortium had never imagined. Human military forces included thousands of vessels, not the few hundred officially acknowledged. Most shocking was the discovery that humans had already encountered Harvester scout ships years earlier and destroyed them. Incidents classified as deep space anomalies in public records. We detected their first probes 7 years ago, Admiral Chen revealed, displaying tactical data of the encounters. Their technology is formidable, but not invincible. With combined forces, we stand a fighting chance. As the Harvester fleet approached, an unprecedented alliance formed. Human bridge technology was adapted to connect consortium defense systems. Nexium power sources enhanced alien weapons platforms. The Shadow Fleet emerged fully into the light, joining with consortium armadas in defensive formations. The battle lasted 17 days. Hundreds of ships and thousands of lives were lost across a dozen star systems, but the combined forces prevailed, driving the Harvesters back beyond the rim with such losses that the ancient predators would need centuries to recover. In the aftermath, the galactic political landscape transformed. Humanity, no longer pretending to be less than it was, took its place as a major power. The consortium, humbled by both human deception and the existential threat they'd never detected, reformed into a more egalitarian union of species. Director Washington stood with Elder Zadok on the observation deck of Unity Station, watching ships from a dozen species moving through the busy transit hub. Do you regret the deception? Zadig asked. Washington considered the question. I regret its necessity, not its implementation. Had we revealed ourselves immediately, would your consortium have accepted us as equals? No, Zadig admitted. Our protocols would have placed you under observation and guidance for at least a century. And would that have prepared any of us for the harvesters? The elder was silent for a long moment. Perhaps the universe needed both our caution and your ambition. Below them, human and alien engineers worked together on a new generation of defensive systems. The bridge network now connected 60 species across 3,000 systems. Nexium technology was being adapted for dozens of new applications. The silent ascension is over, Washington said. Now we all rise together. Far beyond the galactic rim, the remaining harvester vessels retreated into the void. Their collective consciousness assessed the unprecedented defeat and catalogued the unusual species that had orchestrated their failure. For the first time in millions of years, the predators knew fear. The humans would be washed. The humans would be studied. And perhaps the humans would be avoided when the next harvest cycle came due. In the grand dance of galactic civilizations, a new power had revealed itself, one that had accomplished in secret what others had achieved over millennia of open development. Humanity had built an empire no one saw coming, and in doing so, perhaps saved the galaxy itself.